I mean, this is one way to clear off my TBR. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I am going to do a book unhaul. I try and do these kind of every couple of months, but I'm especially doing it right now at the start of the year because this is the year that I'm trying to get through as many of the books that are on my physical TBR as I can. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to kind of go through it and see what's on your TBR that you're very likely not going to read, or what books do you have lying around that you've read but you're not going to pick back up again, or that you have read and that you know somebody else that you know is going to really enjoy them. What I do with a book that I'm getting rid of, if it's a full copy, is I will kind of bring it to a charity shop, or in Germany there's a lot of kind of open libraries in the street that are made from old telephone boxes or things like that, and there is one quite near to where I live, so quite a lot of the books that you're going to see today will go there. Some of them are also going to go to friends of mine that have similar reading tastes to me. We pick up the same kind of books and I know that they're going to enjoy the same thing, so hopefully all of these books are going to have a new home in the new year. I have got a book that I am not going to speak about or that I am not going to show, but it is being taken off my TBR, and I think you will understand why when I tell you that it is about a wizard. First book that I am getting rid of is The Diary of a Bookseller by Sean Blythel. This is about a bookshop in Wigtown in Scotland, and it is a non-fiction book, and it includes my name in it, which I thought would be a really great connector for me. But unfortunately, the book wasn't what I was expecting. I follow the Facebook page of this bookshop, and there are so many funny anecdotes of things the customers have said, or really weird orders that have come in from the public, and I was really expecting that this book would be kind of like a collection of those, but it's not as humorous in my opinion. I didn't think it was as funny, I didn't think it was as relatable, and to be honest, it's quite a lot of the author just moaning on about working in a bookshop, which would be the ideal career for me. Next one on the list is Oddbird by Leans Farnsworth, and I got this as a review copy, so this is going to go not to a charity shop, it's either going to go to a friend or to the open book library. And this is about a guy who studies ornithology, he studies birds, and he's studying their mating patterns, and he wants to find out if he can bring that kind of what he has studied, bring that into his own life and see if he can make a relationship based on the stuff that he's learned about birds. It sounded really interesting, but it just wasn't for me. I think the writing style just wasn't my kind of thing. So I'm going to be getting rid of this one. This one is going to piss off quite a lot of people. I'm getting rid of White, White and Wild Blue. This one already has a home. I have promised this to my friend Steph from the blog A Little But A Lot last year. I still haven't sent it to her. But I could not get into this book at all. I gave it about 50 pages and there was just nothing that was sinking me in. I felt like it was a little bit too fan fiction-y for me. I know that a lot of people who live on this side of the Atlantic don't really love that book, and I was definitely in that team. I'm probably gonna try it again because I do have a second copy of it in my parents' house, which was given to me as a gift. So if the time does come, I'm going to pick it up again and see if I can get back into it. But I think this copy has a home waiting for it, and I know that it's going to be a good home. The next book is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. This was Frances Cha's debut, and it's a really great book. It's set in South Korea, and it's kind of about the beauty culture of South Korea and just how prevalent it is in everybody's lives. You follow 4 different women who are all very different backgrounds. They all have very different expectations from their lives. And I really enjoyed this, but I don't think I'm going to pick it up again. It's not a book that I'm completely running out the door to get back to reading, so I think somebody else is going to really enjoy this. So the next book that I am getting rid of is The Best of Adam Sharp by Graham Simison. This is the same person who has written The Rosie Project, The Rosie Result and The Rosie Effect, I think are the 3 books in that trilogy. And I really loved those. I picked this up when my parents came to visit me about 2-ish years ago, and I picked it up last year to give it a try, and I just could not get into it. I feel like if you're somebody who's really into 60s, 70s music, this is definitely going to be the book for you. It even has a little playlist at the back which is filled with like songs that you can listen to while you're reading it or all that kind of thing. It probably has got a Spotify playlist connected to it. This book just is not my kind of thing. I'm much more like an 80s, 90s and onward from there music person. So definitely this book is going to be somebody's kind of cup of tea. It just wasn't mine. I listened to the book that's coming up next as an audiobook, and while I didn't really enjoy it, I don't want to do anything drastic with the book that I have. So I know that somebody that I know very well is going to really enjoy this because she really loves Sophie Kinsella books. And what I didn't love, I Owe You One, I know that she is definitely going to love it because she has a much more fluid relationship with Sophie Kinsella's books than I do, where it's very much a seesaw. I loved this one, I hated this one, I loved this one, I didn't get on well with this one. But she has much more of a better relationship with Sophie Kinsella, and she has loved a lot more of Sophie Kinsella's books than I have. This book might have been the one that has made me rethink my relationship with Sophie Kinsella, but because I know that one of my really good friends absolutely loves her stuff, this book has a good home waiting for it. So I'm going to get rid of the next book in the same kind of vein, and that is Laura's Spooky Show by Natasha Vacon-Baird. I think this book is best to read if you are maybe like 7 to 9, maybe 10 years old. And one of my cousin's kids is 5, just gone this year, so she would definitely love this one. And I know that this is a part of a series, but it also reads really well as a standalone. However, I don't think she has any of the other books, so that is a perfect Christmas, birthday, Easter, Tuesday present for her. The next 2 books that I'm going to get rid of are part of a series. I think it's just a duology, and if it's not, I'm probably not going to pick them up again. So we have got Royals and we have got Her Royal Highness, both by Rachel Hawkins. I didn't hate these books. I didn't hate them. I just didn't love them enough to keep them. And I didn't love them enough that I am definitely going to go back to them again. Whereas if I bring them to the open library or if I bring them to a charity shop, somebody out there is going to love them. And somebody out there is going to want to pick those up. And it's going to be really handy for them that they come together. And so the final book that I am getting rid of in this section is We Are Not Okay by Natalia Gomez. So I picked this up when I was last in England in like 2019 or so. It languished on my shelf for over a year. When I did finally get around to it, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And I don't think that I love it enough that if I keep it on my shelf and if it stays here, I'm probably not going to pick it back up again. I know that that's like a really common reason I've given for getting rid of like all of these books, but to me, it doesn't make sense to keep it on my shelves if I'm not going to read it again, if I'm not going to pick it up, if I'm not thinking about it. There are so many books that I would reread that I do keep. It's just that somebody else out there is going to see this on a shelf in a charity shop or is going to see it in the open bookshop, and they're going to want to pick it up and they're going to bring it home and hopefully love it as much as I did, or maybe even more. Those are all of the books that I am getting rid of for this year because I needed a little bit of a spring clean. Do you unhaul at all, and what books are you getting rid of? Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.